Hi, welcome back to the channel, FIFA Mobile. Alright, I've been left with 800 miles to claim that 96 OVR milestone player. Of course, that could be claimed from the daily effort, and of course, being lucky, I managed to get 200 miles from the daily pack as well. Alright, so parade points are important. I mean, you can saw just now I gained quite a number of parade points. How do I gain all those parade points? Are usually by having a full team of 11 Carniball players, and of course, more importantly, you're going to use your hat, drummed, as well as your feathers if you have any. Alright, so I'm just going to show you a snapshot of what you can gain you if you have a full team here. So like this, even though I lose this, it doesn't really matter. Most important is if you participate with a full team, this is the amount of party score you get, which can eventually gain you those parade points. Alright, for today, we'll manage to claim this 93 player, which falls under reward 7. And of course, with this LM, we will basically be able to boost the OVR of my current 11 Carnivore players. Fairly good stats there, you can see just now. Of course, work rate is good as well. So of course, that's not enough. I definitely gonna give you a small player review in terms of how he fared. Okay, so very quickly, these are some of the other rewards we can work with. But first up, quickly put it in. You can see he's really superior compared to the previously player, which we have just put in a CDM. Alright, so with that CDM, we will be able to replace this player in place, which is a CB, and with that we could place that CB into the better position. And do remember to switch around the players if you are lazy to read like me. I mean, in terms of their teams and whatnot, what I do is to normally just switch around to check the chemistry, and if it's not good, just switch it back. Like you see here, maximum chemistry is 169. Okay, so next we're going to check whether is it really worth a lot of money. Otherwise we could sell him off, but currently it's just worth roughly 500 to 600,000 in terms of those coins. So I'm going to show you a quick player review here. It allows you to swiftly so-called swirl across the field, and of course eventually between the defenders. So not too bad, I must say. I'm quite impressed by this 93 LM. And let's see. Alright. That was quite a good pass by him, and eventually scored by his teammate. Alright, now you can see him cutting across the fields and apparently very smoothly, very easily surpass all the defenders and managed to go all the way towards the goalkeeper. Alright, and eventually he made a score. Can you imagine that? That's how smooth he is. I mean, end of the day, it's very important you get such a player, because with him it just makes things much easier. And you know, for LM, really important is really those speed, the pace. Without a good pace, you may outrun by defenders or even their midfielders. So I would just already urge you, if you could claim this player, put into your LM positions with him. Definitely it makes your life much easier. Alright, just want to show you again one last bit, the speed, the pace of him moving and eventually scoring. No problem at all. I think it's really impressive, I must say. I'm really impressed. So this is really one good player, and it's relatively cheap. You can get him from market for about 500,000 to 600,000 coins. So this is really someone you should go towards. Alright, so of course I will definitely run through with you very quickly the skill games. Nothing new. I mean, by now you'll be very familiar with all the skill games already. For this, is definitely ignore the white coins if you could. Just focus on the player to gain their possession of their ball and then kick it away. Alright, so that's how it works for this very simple skill game. Alright, that's how fast I'm going to go through with all these skill games, because I've been through with you for many times already by now. If you look at the playlist, you'll see many of those. So I'm not explaining in details how you do it. Really, you can take a look at how I did it. It's not tough because the white ones doesn't overturn. If you wish to, like what I'm trying to show you, is to aim all the white ones just to see how many points I can get from all the white ones. Alright, so that's for fun actually, but it's not necessary. You can actually do those without white ones as well. Alright, with 6 stars, let's move on further. Alright, this is something that is a bit tricky sometimes, but again, just make sure you align your position straight ahead with a target ahead of you, and straighten yourself. Alignment is very important. So end of the day, it's not about trying to score, but rather hitting on the target and not just the ball into the net. So this is really important. Straighten the alignment in terms of yourself, the player, of course, towards the target. Alright, next one, this is pretty simple, as long as you do not click on the sprint button, and when you cross the corridor or even at this, just try to go slower. You shouldn't be worried about time, because time is never a concern. As long as you do not hit any obstacle twice, you'll be fine. Okay, last but not least, the most dread skill game is definitely this one, whereby a lot of luck factor comes into play. It is not necessary about just skill, so I sometimes I do not call this a skill game. I think it's more a luck game. Alright, so you can see this is really lucky. Most of the time, if you're not lucky, you just hit the barrel, and that's about, or you could just hit outside the target. So having achieved that, I'll just let the time run by. Otherwise, what if I hit the barrels and get negative and eventually don't get my 3 stars, right? So just let time passes. And of course, this is about hard work, getting that 100 Mars, and of course with all the 75 times 5 Mars, we managed to claim all the way to the last rewards, which we're gonna hold back, because I'm worried that if I claim that feather, I may accidentally use it for the parade. So I'm gonna hold it there, and eventually I'm gonna claim both the feathers at the same time, and then quickly exchange for the milestone player. Most likely I'll go for the CB, because of the higher price right now. I think roughly about 7 million. Hopefully in a couple of maybe 1 day or 2, it doesn't really drop that much, because that is really a concern, especially when you're gonna exchange a player to sell in the market. Yes, you could also wish to get a 98 if you have been successful getting all the 100 Mars, or being lucky getting all the 200 Mars from the daily pack. But for me, sometimes I miss that 100 Mars, so I'm not that confident in getting that. I'm more confident in getting the 96 CB, so-called the milestone players. And if got any extras, probably I hope to gain some skill boosts, because money is important, but skill boost you can't buy with money. So this is very important that you should work on your skill boosts. So far in my current core team, all the skill boosts has reached level 12. I'm hoping to be able to elevate it further to 13. So really claiming skill boost is my priority. And along the way, when you claim the reward path, you will claim hats and drums. Alright, so this is really important when you play that parade, because you need those to get your party score, and eventually more of those parade points. Alright, unfortunately, even though you get very good amount of parade points, it will not be sufficient to claim that icons player. So for now, I'm just going to check the price of the 95 itself, just in case, because this is rare, no one is claiming, then it may have a higher price than the milestone player. If that's the case, I may want to reconsider whether am I able to get that 95 instead. Alright, so as you can see, I'm going to set the price about 5 million. I do know the 96 CB in the milestone player is about 7 million. So I'm going to set it probably, let's say 7 million, and take a look. Alright, so roughly, I must say roughly there, but of course along the way prices may drop. And last but not least, this is something also want to reconsider. The 96 milestone player you can see just now is really good. So if I decide not to sell, I may use that 96 CB as my core team as well. I'm considering whether to change my formation, whereby I may have 5 defenders, i.e. having 3 CB. That is something I gotta ponder, because if that's the case, I may not want to sell that CB and eventually use it into my core team. And if that's the case, I will have a different formation Then Ronaldo may be someone that I wish to sell, because if that's the case, the formation has changed. There will only be a requirement of one striker, for example. So I already have Zola, so Zola can't be sold. So that's the reason why I'm pondering whether should I change formation. If I should, then probably someone got to go. Alright, so let's quickly claim all the way. As you can see, I'm missing 2 more towards that feather, and lucky me today, I managed to open that daily pack and we got 200 feathers. Not feathers, pardon me, 200 masks, and that allows me to claim nearer towards that feather. Alright, so I'm left with 800 requirement, 800 mask requirement to claim this player. And of course, more importantly, I'm also trying my best still to work on those parade points and eventually claim more rewards from there. Alright, so parade points, as I said, is really important. You should get your head, drum and feather, as well as a full team to claim that party score. Alright, thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe, and good luck to you. Goodbye.